What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at the USC Air Raid Playbook in College Football 25. Now, this is the Lincoln Riley offense. He's been an air raid guy since the beginning, had great success as an offensive coordinator at Eastern Carolina before going to Oklahoma, becoming an OC and then head coach there. Produced a bunch of Heisman winners, and then, he's now at USC, pretty much doing the same thing. Just a very great offensive mind, and I feel like EA done a good job of mimicking what he likes to do offensively. So we're going to look at the formations and concepts and play types and personnel, and hopefully by the end of the video, you'll have a good macro view of what this playbook is all about. So quickly, air raid, we done a video on that last week. It's just West Coast passing from the shotgun, but more of it. But this is the Lincoln Riley air raid. He likes to add more runs, bigger formations in terms of personnel, maybe a little bit more motion, and you're going to see a lot of that in this video. So let's just start off with the formations. As a whole, he's got a whole lot of gun formations, a couple of single back formations, U off and then U off trips. I guess you could use this as a change up. I honestly don't watch USC enough to know if he uses these a lot, but you can use them however you wish. But there's only two of them in the single back set. And then you got goal line, of course, Hail Mary. And the reason why I'm coming down here is you notice they snuck a pistol formation down here at the very bottom. It actually shocked me when I saw this, and now it makes me wonder. I need to go back and look at all my other playbooks and see if I missed anything. But why they didn't put the pistol up here somewhere, I don't know. But we do have one pistol formation, and it is open flex with 15 plays. But the bulk of this is going to be in the shotgun. Now, if you remember that air raid video, we had the alternate playbook, the Mike Leach playbook, more or less, very similar to what you see here, but with a touch of Lincoln Riley-ish types thing. So let's start off with gun. Gun split slot. This is a typical air raid two-back look. And you got split offset. You just got the two halfbacks offset of the quarterback. 21 plays in it. Then we get into our 11 personnel. You got your doubles Y off. It's a 2x2 look. And notice the halfback and the tight end, how they're offset, especially the tight end. He's very offset on a lot of these 11 personnel sets, at least when he's attached to the line, as you see right here. So you got doubles Y off. You got the weak version. Then you got Y off trips. And then you have Y off trips weak. And then you got Y off trio week. And then we get into the 2x2 spread looks. But just, again, notice the tight end. He's always off the line when he is attached to the line. Okay, so now you go to our 2x2 looks. This is spread. This is a 10 personnel look. Then you got 21 plays there. You got 21 plays of spread Y flex week. You put your tight end back in there. Then you got spread double flex. Now you got the tight end on the line. Then you got trips, another 10 personnel set. Then you got tray open offset, 21 plays there. And then we get into several empty formations. You got empty base. This is technically an 11 personnel set. You see number 87 and then number 1, your halfback. Then you got empty chips, gets an extra tight end out there. I don't know. I think this is a rare formation in the game in terms of other playbooks having it. I've seen it a couple other times, but I don't think it's very commonly used. And then you got empty quads halfback. Now, this is a new one for me so far. I'm sure there's probably a couple other playbooks that have it, but this is really cool. I'm all about the quads look. Well, you got one in here, and there's 12 plays in it. So those are all of your gun formations. So just kind of notice the trends, but it's still pretty similar to like the original air raid playbook. All right, so now let's go over to concepts, and let's start off with the runs. Now, the run game is just as important as the passing game to Lincoln Riley in the air raid. Compared to Mike Leach, who like to throw the ball all the time, if you got good running backs, you need to use them, and you got some decent stuff in here. So we got 9 counters. That seems kind of high to me for a typical air raid playbook. I suggest you use some of these. I love any of the gap scheme stuff in this game is really good, and I suggest you use some of this. Then you got 7 draws. This is typical if you're going to pass a lot. Most air raid playbooks will have enough draws to keep you satisfied, but you have 19 inside zones, and they're all a little bit different. Now, this is like inside zone split on the left. You got the other halfback. He is pulling for you. That's a zone split look. Then you got motion inside zone. Then they somehow threw GT counter in the inside zone. I don't know why they've done that. I guess that's just a glitch, but you keep on going through here and you notice there's just a lot of different kinds of inside zones in terms of somebody motioning, somebody pulling for you of some sort. I like the variety, even though it's still the same concept. So this is going to be the base, like with any other spread offense, especially that's gun-oriented. Inside zone is always your number one run concept to go with. ISO, there's only one, that's at a goal line. Then you got outside zone. There are 7 of these, which is pretty normal for most of these spread offenses. Then you go power. There's only 6 power, supposedly. So if you are a pulling guy, there's not a lot in here for you to enjoy unless you want to treat the counters as part of your powers. I suggest you combine your counters with your powers. Again, it just gives you that pulling look. Then you got 5 sweeps. And then you got 2 reverses. That seems actually kind of high for most of these playbooks. You actually have 2 of them. All right, so now let's go over to the options, and we got your typical RPO stuff. Now, I think it's interesting, for whatever reason, they decide to put the RPO peaks at the very beginning. They usually put this in order alphabetically, but for whatever reason, they got the peaks at the beginning. No big deal. You have 8 of those. You got 1 load option, 10 read options, just 10, but you got various kinds of those. Then you got 1 shovel. You got only 1 speed option. So if you're a speed option guy, do not use this playbook. Then you got 1 triple, same thing. Then you got your basic RPO reads. These are pretty normal ones. Now, I do like some of these. I've never seen the RPO like read slide before. Let's go ahead and select that one. Let's go up against something random here. So I guess what the read here is, we'll just read the outside. Yep, I think I'm going to keep it. Try to get whatever yards I can. So pretty much what you're just reading here, from what I can tell, is the outside there, the nickel on the right in the corner. If they come crashing towards the outside, I guess do not throw it to your other halfback, something like this. And it was too late for me to make a move there. But either way, that's just a unique RPO, I feel like. There's not many like that. Now, this could be quite common RPO in a lot of the 2-back sets, so forgive me if I did not read that before. But anyway, there's 7 of those, and then you got 13 RPO alerts, pretty common stuff that we've seen already. There's enough here to where I think the RPO game needs to be a part of your offense. There's more RPOs than there are quick stuff. So you go to the quick passing game, you got only 1 Ohio, 1 Omaha. You got a bunch of slants, 14. If you're a slant guy, definitely use them. And you got 13 stick, which should be normal in an air raid playbook. I suggest you do both unless you just don't like one of them. It's up to you. If you want to stick to the air raid style of things, you may want to do more stick than slant. But if you're a big slant guy, then definitely use them. So these will be your 2 go-to quick passing games. Concepts. Now let's go to medium. When it comes to medium, you got 11 slot crosses. This is pretty typical. Think Y cross, like motion Y cross right there. PA slot cross, PA H cross. It's still the same thing. That slot receiver is crossing in some form or fashion. So there's 11 of those. You only got 4 choice concepts, which seems pretty normal for an air raid playbook. You got 10 curls. If you're a curl flat guy, I love the curl flats, but pretty much any stopping route they're going to put here. 7 double moves. That actually seems kind of high to me from what I've seen so far. The double moves, I guess they take a little bit longer to develop. Now, this 9-8-6 play, I don't know why they put that in the double move. I don't see any route that's got a true double move in it, but I digress. Drive, 3 of those. You got 3 levels. You got 8 mesh. Enough here to stick to your air raid if you want to. I suggest you use it. Again, the reason why you pick this playbook is to run more air raid, but just in a different way. Then you got 3 pivots. You got 4 Salems, only 4 shallow crosses. These are pretty much a sister concept to the mesh, but I figured you'll be using mesh more often anyways. You got 19 smash. Again, this is just high-low stuff, and these 3 plays right here is a perfect example. You got the corner out with a flat underneath it on both sides, and you're going to get kind of the same thing throughout. For the most part, like you got Z spot, you got, let's see, the classic smash on the left side right there. A lot of variation, but again, this is a very common concept in a lot of these playbooks, smash. You got 7 spots. So spot, if you remember over in smash, we have some spots over here. Spot is kind of smash. If you look on the left side motion spot, you got a flag over the top, and then you have the little hitch underneath it. We can do the motion version of this. Let's see if I can make this look decent. I saw him. No, he was double teamed. I threw that way too early as well. Either way, I think it's a pretty neat little play. Just a little motion. But again, it's still the smash concept on the right side. Let's see if I can do a little bit better here. He's wide open. Get over there. And he wasn't even paying attention. All right, good job. All right, so again, Z spot or spot in general. And then smash, I think they kind of go together, and I suggest you use them. Then you got Texas, there's only 2 of those. So let's go over to deep pass. You got 11 comebacks. I love the comeback route. Then you got 2 daggers, 1 double dig, 3 double post, 11 floods. Notice these are a lot of Y sail. It may not say Y sail, but in air raid terms, when you see that slot receiver going on a big out route like that with like an over-the-top post or a go, they usually call that sail. And a lot of this is kind of the same thing. You got 15 verticals, maybe the most I've seen of any playbook so far that I've looked at really hard. Plenty of verticals here. Everybody knows how to run verticals. Nothing's really changed over the years with these. But I am a big fan of some of these unique ones. I like this motion one over there on the right. Definitely use it. Then you got meals, 5 of those. You have 2 Portlands. You have 14 shot plays. You remember with shot plays, these are normally going to be your play actions. PA bubble Y over, PA go slot cross. It's just play action deep stuff. Then you got 7 switches. And then you have 6 Y cross. So you have a nice variety of medium or deep stuff that go along with your mediums and whatnot. It says we only got 9 play actions, but we will definitely see here shortly that we have way more than that. So you can always ignore the concept play action pass section. Go to the play type first and really see how many play actions you have. Let's go to screen pass. Like any air raid, screen is a big deal. So you got RPO, read, swing, or all these basic bubble screens I'm a big fan of. Like I love these swing plays. Let me go and see if I can do something here. Let's see. He is on the line, the corner on the left. So I'll probably keep this one simple and just bounce this over to the halfback, and we got a lot of room to work with. That's nice to see. Good deal. Just very simple read right there. But anyway, if you're a bubble screen guy, there's enough in here for you to enjoy. Then you go to 9 flanker screens. Definitely include some of these. Again, the screen game is just a big deal in the air raid. Then you got 3 wide receiver mid screens. Now let's go over to the play type. So we've already looked at a lot of these plays already, but notice they just kind of put together differently. So you got 4 quicks, you got 1 standard, and I find these really funny. There's only 1 standard pass play in this playbook, but you got 44 play actions. This is what I wanted to show you. This has to be a major part of your offense. Again, run the ball with your main concepts, do play action off of that, and you got a lot to work here with. And notice a lot of this stuff is air raid play action, like PA post dig shot. What does that look like? To me, that looks like white cross, except it's just play action. Look at this, PA read smash. That's a typical air raid concept, but it's play action. So you got screen passes. These are just all the screens we looked at earlier. And some of these, if I'm not mistaken, are there any RPOs in here? They do not label them here. I think they label them somewhere else. Let's go over to the runs. You go over to inside handoff, 32 insides, only 10 outsides. You got 3 pitches. You got 9 counters, 7 draws. It's the same thing we pretty much saw before, but as we all know, inside handoff is going to be your biggest one to work with on top of outside. And then I'm a big fan of using counter and such, the pulling stuff. Now let's look at the options. They pretty much combine all of your reads and speed options right here, and there's only 12. So this is not an option-heavy playbook. It's very RPO option-heavy. That's pretty much what I like to refer to them as. And here are the RPOs again: 6 reads, 9 peaks, and 13 alerts. Then that is it for all the play types. So one thing I want to show you before we leave is some of the trends in these formations, and we'll just stick to the gun formations for now. So when you go through these formations, and this is normally how I call plays, is by formation, unless I got something favored, go through each formation and notice some trends here. They do a pretty good job of combining plays together to form a series. Like inside zone split looks a lot like PAF slide. Notice what that F back is doing. He is going across the line off the play action. He's doing that off the run as well. And he's also doing it off the RPO slide. So just kind of notice all 3 of those work together. And I bring that up because you're going to see a lot of pre-snap motion in this playbook. It's not in this formation, but let's go to the next one. Here we go. Motion Y stick, RPO read swing, motion double pass. Notice it's the same movement every time by that halfback. Then we got some more to look at. We have motion Y cross, motion read counter, motion PA counter. Notice Y cross and PA counter. What do they look like? Y cross, air raid stuff. And then we got more. Motion spot, motion inside zone, motion PA halfback swing. We got all of our base concepts in this little series, but it's that same pre-snap movement, which I love that they have this set up as such. So you go through all these formations and you're going to find more of this. Look at this. Orbit alert counter, orbit PA counter, orbit RPO alert. This is how you set the defenses up. Go in here, for example, you run RPO orbit alert. You go in here and you call it. Then the 2 plays later, you go to another one from that same series, and then you're off and running. So here you make a big play and say you get out of bounds. Then the next play, you go pick another formation of whatever that could be. And then maybe the next play or the play after that, what do? You go back and you may want to do the alert counter. So that, again, that's the whole point of you're just setting up the defense to see the same looks, but then you can throw different things off of it. You go to doubles Y off week. Look at this. More pre-snap motion. This time it's a jet sweep series. Those 3 right there. Do we have any more in this formation? We do not. Y off trips, I think had some. Yes. Motion stick and nod, motion Y screen. Guess what? Stick. That's air raid. Stick and nod. Guess what? That's air raid. Screen. Air raid. If the whole thing screams air raid, it just gives you a different way to do it. Y off trips. Keep on going. Guess what? Spot. Swing. Pump and go. That's your switch concept, but it's still that same pre-snap motion using air raid concepts. Then you go to Y off trio week. Do we got any motion in here? We do not. What about spread? I think it was all the 11 personnels that had them. We can check here really quickly. Nope, I was wrong. We have motion spread Y flex week, which is technically 11 personnel, but guess what? Z spot, swing, stick, air raid, air raid, air raid. Keep on going. We have some more. We got another spot. We got another stick. And this time we got a 4 vertical pre-snap motion, which I think looks really cool. Maybe I can make this look halfway decent. Let's try this. So again, we got your verticals, but we're going to have a pre-snap motion to go with it. Complement this with your other pre-snap motions, especially from this little series. Can you make the play? 6 points. Nice. Good play right there. Either way, just awesome stuff right here. Really love that you can just combine a lot of this together to really have a nasty offense. Let's keep on going. Do we have any more pre-snap motion? Here we go. Another series. Motion slot shallow. Then you got a mid-screen. Then you got mesh. Guess what? That's air raid, that's air raid, and that's air raid. Air raid pre-snap motion. You go to trips. Do we have any in here? We do not. You go to tray open offset. Guess what? We got some. We got 4 verticals. We got swing, and we got wide corner. Air raid across the board. It's the same thing over and over again. And I just think it's really cool how they combine it as such. But that's just the way Lincoln Riley likes to do it. He goes through them and see some of these other ones. You probably won't have as much pre-snap motion on your empty formations. All right. So you now have an idea of what to expect here. So what did we look at? It's a lot of shotgun. It's a lot of pre-snap motion, but it's air raid and it's using bigger sets if you need to. I suggest you go off your personnel. What are you good at? Do you got 2 great halfbacks? Use more of this stuff right here. Do you have a really good tight end? Use more of the 11 personnel formations like this or something like this. And then once you know what your good personnel is at, your best 11 for the most part, then you work your best concepts in this playbook, or the most popular, which was what? Inside zone. Run your counter, run your power, run play action off of that, pick an RPO that you like, but pick plays, especially if you want to get real nitty gritty with this playbook. Start using some of the pre-snap motion series stuff. No reason not to. This is Lincoln Riley in a nutshell. Pre-snap motion, air raid, play action off of that, verticals over the top. And I just think it's a really cool playbook. I think you're going to enjoy it, but at least now you have a rough idea of what it entails in terms of the concepts, in terms of what he likes to do with this air raid offense. And it just gives you another way to run one of the best offenses in the world. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.